Mobile, how's it going?
It's going great.
Yeah, I was talking. I guess I was talking to you. I guess I'm talking out there into the
world,
vast emptiness. So I guess I should ask you how you doing. Yeah, guys, we're here with another episode of Do Some Good Mobile. We're really excited. We're early on in the phase of getting to interview the different organizations that were involved this year in our publication. The publication is just now getting distributed around Mobile and the surrounding areas. So all the organizations that are in it should now have copies that you can get a copy from. Also, they're going to lots of doctors' offices and stuff like that all around the community. You can find the digital version online on the mobilerundown.com.
Absolutely.
Did everything that I just said, is that accurate and correct?
That is accurate. I am super excited today. We are talking to Kelsey. She is with The Shoulder. And I don't know if you guys recognize the name The Shoulder, but it has been an institutional facility, not institutional, but like a very important part of our community for men for a very long time. And we have some very exciting news to discuss with her today about some things they have going on for the women in our community. So we will bring her on shortly.
Just a moment, hang out, watch this intro. We'll be right back and we'll bring Kelsey on. If you have the paper copy in hand, it's page 34. Page 34 is The Shoulder. I just want to tell you that. Well, let's go ahead and bring Kelsey on and chat with her. Kelsey, good morning. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We're super excited.
Kelsey, tell us a little bit about what you do and about The Shoulder in general.
I do a little bit of everything. I'm our public relations, marketing, grant writer, kind of event planner. So I do a little bit of everything, which keeps my days busy and exciting.
Right.
But it's really easy when you work somewhere like The Shoulder. We've been around for over 30 years in Baldwin County. It started as a men's residential treatment center back in '88 at an old Holiday Inn on the Causeway. So I don't know if you're familiar with where Keaton Corrections is now on the Causeway, but that used to be The Shoulder back before Katrina.
Wait, what is it now?
It's Keaton Corrections. So
Keaton Corrections. Is that more towards?
It's right behind like there's a transmission shop.
Yeah.
Back there, it's about the halfway point on the Causeway there.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So that's where we used to be up until Hurricane Katrina flooded the building.
Yeah, got you. Okay.
So we've had a pretty exciting history, but this year, or I guess it was October of last year, we opened our first women's facility. So that's what you'll see in the magazine. There is our ribbon cutting for our women's facility, which is here in Mobile.
So that is super exciting. Was there a reason why you chose Mobile versus Baldwin County? Was there a greater need, or did y'all want to keep them kind of separate?
Well, I mean, there's a need in both counties and really all of Southern Alabama. There's up until we opened, there was not a single state certified program for women. There's lots of other, faith-based and programs like that for women. So I don't want to discount any of those places that have been operating. But we really wanted to try to bridge that gap, and that gap happened to be the Mobile Bay in our area.
Yeah.
We wanted to be able to bring services to residents both in Mobile and Baldwin. And so we kind of looked at a way to do that. Our original plan was to build in Baldwin County, and we just didn't feel like that was really addressing the needs of the area and making treatment as accessible as we would want it to be.
Right.
So we've located this place over here, Tillman's Corner, and it's been great.
So when you say a rehabilitation facility, I guess for our viewers and for our listeners, can you break that down a little bit and tell us what types of rehab you guys offer?
Sure. Yeah. So The Shoulder offers a couple different programs. We are a drug and alcohol treatment facility. and we are all residential. So we don't have outpatient programs or things like that.
Okay.
We have, at our men's facility, we have 2 levels of state certified care.
Okay.
So the first one is considered low intensity residential treatment. And what's really cool about that is the guys can keep their jobs. So they're not required to just, sign off from their life for a while and go to rehab. They can continue to work during the day, and they access all of their groups and their individual sessions with their counselor and things like that in the evenings. So they still get that full, component of a treatment program. It just kind of happens after hours. So
is that one of the things that makes you a little bit different from the other facilities that are around town that are faith-based, that your occupants have the ability to get out, and then also that you're state certified as well, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's
so
huge.
we are, we say we were Christian orientation. The Shoulder was founded by a men's prayer group. But we in no way require anyone to believe a particular belief system or impose those beliefs on anybody. That's just sort of our worldview for how we try to treat people. We think that spirituality is an important part of recovery, but it's not everything.
Right, absolutely.
But yeah, so what's really great is that we really want people to be able to continue with their lives and learn to deal with those stressors in their lives, but have that accountability of a treatment program and somewhere to stay. So they do live with us in the evenings, but they are able to go out and work during the day.
Which is huge. Especially if you have family or no family, being able to keep that income and keep that job. Because if they were to take time away from that job, who knows if that job is going to be there whenever they are at a finishing point with the program. So say someone listening or watching they know someone or themselves, they're in need of something like this. What would be kind of the process to get someone in your doors?
Okay. Well, everything goes through our gatekeeper, Henry. He's our intake specialist. So we do require everybody to have an assessment just to make sure that we are going to be an appropriate program for them. Recovery is not a one size fits all. It's a great program for a lot of people, but there are some people that may benefit from different types of programs, particularly those that may be addicted to opiates or alcohol, things like that might require a detox program. And we do not have the medical staff or the ability to do that. So we might refer somebody out for that prior to come.
So that would be a process that they would do elsewhere.
Right, exactly.
And then,
and we would make good referrals for them. We wouldn't just, send them out the door and be like, hey, good luck,
Yeah. How do folks hear about you? Is it kind of through a referral, to get referred to you guys, or how does that mostly happen?
Yeah, a lot of times it is referrals. We do get a lot of people that just do an internet search for, treatment programs in the area.
Okay.
We do get a lot of referrals through the drug court system in both counties. So we got about 50% of our clients are what we call legally motivated to come to treatment.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But they come from a variety of different places.
How long are your treatment programs? And so I know that you mentioned that they're residential, and that some people are able to keep their jobs. Are there others who are there full time without working?
There are, and that is at our women's facility only. We have what's considered a high intensity residential treatment, which is probably what most people would associate with a 28-day program that you might see in a movie or something like that. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's really intense. It is groups and counseling and working with peers and case managers and things all day and into the evenings. And that is available at our women's campus. But the actual duration of the program really depends on the individual and kind of where they're at and what they're needing. So we can usually give someone an approximation, but it really depends on what their goals are when they come into treatment and sit down with the counselor and how they're working on those. And then we can kind of get a better gauge. But typically that program, that really intense one, is about, 28 or 30 days, give or take. And then our 3-1, our low intensity program that allows people to go to work, can be anywhere from 4 to 6 months, just kind of depending.
Oh, wow. That really is taking somebody by the hand and walking with them through a season, not just for a small amount of time. And if you're able to provide that kind of housing for that amount of time, that's huge for someone. Or do you guys have age limits to where after, is it 18 and over or 25 and older? Do you guys talk or work with teens at all?
Not with teenagers, no.
Okay.
So they must be an adult in the state of Alabama. But there's no age on the other side. So we've had individuals from 19 up to in their 60s.
Yeah.
My
goodness.
adults only. We do not have an adolescent treatment program, but there are some really good resources for teenagers in our area.
So that is what I've heard. I do know that there are some programs that are out there for anybody who might be experiencing anything that they need to get their teen involved in. But you guys, with it being just for adults, when it comes to the women's facility in particular, are these women able to bring children in with them, or do they come alone?
They do come alone.
Okay.
But we do have visitation on Sundays, and that's at both programs. So we do have the families that come up and visit with them on Sunday afternoons. So they're still able to keep in touch with their families and, maintain those responsibilities as a mom. For a lot of the women, especially, that's, the biggest motivator in getting their lives back together and getting their recovery is being able to get their kids and spend time with them.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk cost, because I know that is something that a lot of families or anybody looking to need a program like this, cost is always a big issue. How are you guys funded, and does the resident/patient, what are their responsibilities financially?
Okay. Well, we are a state certified program, and we're a nonprofit program. So a lot of our funding comes through private donations and foundations and things like that. So all of our fees are based on a sliding fee scale.
Okay.
So we really want to work with individuals, when they come in, to find out what will work for them. We don't want, lack of finances to be like the only barrier to somebody getting treatment. We do offer assessments for $50, and that could be anybody in the community if they're just not sure, checking out, or they, think they might have a problem, or maybe want to even go somewhere else. We can give them an assessment for $50. Sorry, my phone's ringing.
No, it's all good.
We can still hear you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes,
the nature of the business, I guess my phone never stops, but
I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we try to individualize everything as much as we can and make things affordable and accessible to people.
I have a question. It's probably kind of off the wall. Are there any of the original folks that helped launch this thing that are possibly still around, that kind of know the trajectory of like what this thing's doing 30 plus years? I mean, that's a long time ago for a group of guys, which I don't know the age of the guys at that point, that, a prayer group that kind of started this thing to see what's kind of come out of that, more than 30 years later.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. We actually had the opportunity to speak with Miss Sally Boom, and her husband was instrumental in the early days of the shoulder, and he had actually passed away last year. But we were able to reach out to her and spend a good hour talking with her, and it's actually in our annual report. There's a whole page on his involvement and how the shoulder has changed over those 30 years, and that's available on our website. It's definitely worth a read. But he was a pretty incredible man in his life, and so it was really cool to talk with her and really get a feel for what the shoulder was like 30 years ago, versus now.
Yeah, because like all things in organizations, like I'd have to imagine that it was an idea and it formed into something, and then that thing has progressed right over like a long period of time and become what it is now. And now having another additional facility, I mean, maybe it was never even a thought in his mind that that's where it could even go, or maybe it's exactly what he imagined, 30 plus years ago. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to I'll look forward to kind of finding that article and kind of read. That's
definitely
awesome.
Check it out. She said that he would be proud, so I took that as high praise.
That's great. That's awesome. Okay, cool.
Going back to funding, I did want to mention a couple of things. So you guys, I know you kind of broke it down for us, but you guys also rely on the community for things such as fundraising and volunteerism and those kinds of things. You have 2 events that are coming up that I wanted to talk about. You have one coming up in August, and then I believe you have something else coming up that you guys are planning in December. And so I would love for you to share with us what those plans are and how the community can get involved.
Okay. Well, our August event is our annual fundraiser. We call it our Freedom Luncheon, and that is at the Daphne Civic Center every year. This year it'll be August 17th, and we usually feature alumni speakers. We really want to focus on the individuals that have come through our program and have been successful, that can share their stories with, the community. But we also have current clients and things like that come to the program as well, so they can have the opportunity to hear those stories.
Yes.
And we definitely welcome the community to that. That is our biggest fundraiser of the year. We sell tickets and sponsorships and things like that. Probably starting next month, you'll start getting bombarded with emails and letters from
Yeah, I know.
But we usually have some really amazing, really inspirational speakers at that. And that's our biggest fundraiser. And our Hope for Her raffle is our December fundraiser. So that is specific to our women's program, and that is a 50-50 raffle. And this will be our 3rd year doing that.
Oh, very cool. We would love, so you just send all the information our way. We would love to get involved.
Definitely do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And whenever you were sharing about the luncheon that you guys are having, one of the things that I think that your program offers to any individual is you're offering a place for them to be surrounded by people who are going through the same thing as them in a residential setting, which is amazing. And then you're getting them to hear and learn from others who have gone through the program. Because I think sometimes, I personally have not experienced anything like that, but I know through friends and family and others that you don't want to feel alone, and you want to feel like you can get there, wherever that there is for you, within your recovery. But hearing others who have been down your road and then being able to live and communicate with others who are on your road it's incredible. So, we really appreciate what you guys are doing. That's fundamental into changing someone's life.
Yeah, well, thank you. I do have to, give credit to our staff. We have a lot of staff, even in the men's facility, that came through that program.
Yeah.
And so you really have that full circle kind of idea there with somebody that was there. They've been through it, they've graduated, and now they're working there and they're able to give that back. So being able to see that is really cool. And we have a few staff over in the men's facility that came through our program specifically. And we do employ peer support specialists. So those are people that are still right there with them, that have been through that are walking that walk with them every step of the way.
Yeah,
in a way
absolutely.
that's unique to somebody that's in recovery. There's just that level of understanding that they have that, not all of us are always going to be able to provide.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like losing a parent or going through childbirth. I think, whenever you're struggling with addiction, it's just one of those things that you can hear about and you can understand someone's situation, but you can't really know what they're going through unless you've lived it yourself. And drug and alcohol addiction crosses all the barriers, ages, races, social status, all of the things. And so it's one of those core struggles as a human that I think so many people, have had to struggle with, and just to be able to be in community with people who are going through and who have gone through, and then to be able to tell your story to hopefully not allow someone else to go through, the things that you've gone through. So it's incredible.
It really is. I mean, people in recovery are probably some of the strongest and bravest people that I have ever met in my life. The things that these individuals have overcome, and their willingness to be vulnerable about it and share that with other people is just, on a level I hope to be at someday.
Right. And I know that we're just coming out of the holidays, and now here in the South, we are going into a time of Mardi Gras, which is party and celebration and those kinds of things. And so my assumption is the last 3 to 4 months, including now, might be some of the hardest times for your residents or anybody that, that's going through the program, because these are These are seasons of celebration and of pain and struggle. So I'm assuming that whenever you mentioned earlier that you guys have like counseling and people on staff that, are able to sit down and those are the things that they are working through, right?
Yes.
Times like that, times of struggle, how to get through them.
Right, absolutely. We work through, the holidays are always particularly difficult for various reasons. Either it's being away from family or maybe they have problems in their family of origin and they don't want to go home for the holidays, and things like that. So there are our counselors here available to work with them as those things come up. But we also encourage them to find outside resources as well and build a support group outside of the shoulder, because the shoulder is only there for a limited amount of time. We want them to really be successful on their own when we're not part of the picture anymore. So we really advocate the 12-step programs, finding sponsors in the community, and building a network outside of where we are to help them through those things when, inevitably there's going to be a time where we're not going to be there, or they're not going to be living on site and have 24 access to somebody to talk to.
Right. In the rainbow world where everything is good and you have everything access to you right there. Right. Having that community is integral, I'm sure. Well, we are so excited that we were able to kind of break some of this down today and have you on. Brooks has a question as we wrap up that he always likes to ask everyone that we're interviewing. So I will let him take it from there.
Yeah. I just always like to ask folks, like, is there anything that that you wish folks would ask you more about the organization or about what you guys do that you don't get asked often, but just something that maybe you'd like to shine a light on or highlight? You're just like, man, I wish people would ask more of this. Does anything come to mind?
I really wish you would have sent me that in the email, because then I would have had like an awesome answer for you.
But see, that's the whole point, right? Like, I don't want, if there's nothing that comes to mind right away, it's fine. I mean, that means that we probably covered most of what you would want to, but like the reason why I just want to throw it at you is because if something like hits you and says, yes, I wish I could say this, then, it's the opportunity to do it. But no. There doesn't have to be an answer for it. So it's perfectly fine.
No, I mean, really our biggest thing is, like we were saying earlier when we were talking about, finances and things like that, is we're here to be accessible to people. I mean, obviously we, want to continue to be around unless we have fundraisers and things like that. But I just want people to know that, the help is there if you're willing to reach out and ask for it. And I don't want that to be a reason that anybody says, oh, like, I can't afford that, so I'm not going. Like, that should not be like, if that's your reason for not accessing treatment, then give me a call.
Right.
Okay.
I hope everybody heard that. If that is not your reason, give her a call, please do. And speaking of calling and accessing you guys, what are the best ways that someone can find information on your program?
Just about everything you would ever want to know about our program is on our website, and that is just theshoulder.org. So it's super easy. It breaks down the 2 different facilities. There's a whole list of things that you can and can't have in the program. It breaks down the sliding fee scale. It has an intake packet on there that you can download.
Oh, wow.
There is a screening questionnaire on there that you can fill out, or maybe even answer if you were thinking of somebody else, as well as all of our newsletters and things like that we publish are all available on there also.
Nice.
So definitely check us out. And then 626-2199 is our main line. And there's always somebody there 24/7 that's available.
That's amazing.
To speak with you. So
that's incredible.
So bear with us on the phone tree, but I promise you there's somebody at the desk.
It's fine. It's something you're working on.
Right.
And of course, we would love for our listeners and our readers to find more about your information and get involved financially, whether it's donating of their time or their efforts or their finances, to help you guys continue the amazing things that you are doing in our community.
Yes, thank you. We definitely appreciate the community support we've had so far has been wonderful. So.
That's awesome. Well, Kelsey, thanks so much for your time today. We appreciate you taking your time out and being with us.
All right. Thanks, Manny Brooks. I appreciate you.
All right. Talk soon. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
That was great.
That is great. I feel like, is that one of the things that it's like a super taboo to, Like you wouldn't go to a dinner party and be like, hey, anybody need rehab? I know a place. But
yeah, I guess it's the thing. Like if you have a need and you can ask or you find the right people. Yeah, I guess it's I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I'm glad that we were able to do this to do this interview and just hopefully expose more information about it, right?
Yeah, when you know about it, you're able to just share it with others if you know that they're struggling or someone in their life or their family struggling. Just be like, hey, there is this place.
Absolutely.
Cool. She was great.
Great episode, great interview. I'm not gonna tell you who you're interviewing next. If you're listening, you'll just have to go to the next episode.
Sit back.
See you guys.